Mike's Unleashed coming at you. You got your man D Mega right here.
And as always, you got Hawk right here too.
What's up, everybody? Listen. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Hawk, you know what we're talking about, right?
Facts. Tyre Nichols and the video that was released about the police brutality. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, look, as two black men, what we witnessed and what we saw, I mean, we got to have a conversation about this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We got to have a conversation with it. And it has to be just a raw, unedited conversation about what we saw and, what does this mean for people out there and just the feelings and emotions that people are probably going through seeing that, especially being that, you know the outcome of the video. Everyone does.
Absolutely.
And
Everyone
the
does.
amount of police officers, regardless if they were black or white, that stood around
Doesn't
while
matter.
this man died and punished him like that. That's
A,
just
a number of
unbelievable.
officers, are involved in this, totally, from the officers, from the EMT, everyone that was involved in this. It's senseless.
Hmm.
These are the police officers, right? The ones that we all know protect and serve. They stood
Facts.
around and beat this man for numerous minutes and just let him sit there bleeding out, suffering in pain, handcuffed to a car.
Yeah,
Rendered
it was
no aid to this guy,
none,
right? No aid to this man. This,
none.
I mean,
And he
it's
asked when you watch the video, it was just the saddest thing because he asked a very simple question: "Why are you
uh,
stopping me?" And they
that's
could
it.
never stop him, right? And then they mocked him while they're beating him, talking about there ain't no need to call for your mama. Like, bro, what are y'all
What?
doing?
How heartless is that? I mean, this man is calling for his mother because he's getting brutally beat down, and you're
Hmm.
mocking him. You're mocking him as as another black man. You're just mocking this man for calling for his mother when he was yards away from his
Mm.
home. He was
100
brutally
yards,
beating this man, 100 yards,
100
brutally beating
yards.
this man.
Yeah, from his house, you brutally beat him. You know, when I watched it, it was quite. It is. I've seen a lot of things. Like I've seen a lot of things in life, but that was one of the most heart wrenching things I've seen. I've seen. It was almost like the movie where you see them interrogating the guy, the mafia. They put him in the chair, tie him to the chair, and somebody stands in front of him and just keeps punching him.
Punching him.
When they stood him up and they had him handcuffed behind his back, and he's punching him in his face, just full blast. Like that
Full.
is senseless, heartless, just unnecessary violence. And then to have the audacity to stand there after they've brutalized this guy and try to rationalize the police brutality with their lies, talking about, you see how he grabbed his gun, you see how he reached for your gun, bro. It was
Yeah,
the most
trying to make up the lines to cover their story, and
correct.
them covering their body cams so that they can't see, but they could just shout
Hmm.
out anything that they want to because you couldn't actually see it. I pray, and I'm glad that there's that street camera view to show exactly what happened. And
Correct.
it is just despicable to think that this was done, and this isn't even about race at this point in time, right?
Yep. It's
Because
not.
most of the time we're always going with the racial aspect is black officers, black, men or women being done this by white officers. These were initially five black men, five
Hmm.
African Americans doing this, beating this man brutally. They didn't see
Correct.
themselves. They just couldn't visualize themselves as being him, being Nichols. The
They
beatdown that
couldn't.
they were giving that man was something that you don't even see that in movies that often. I mean,
It is just terrible.
that's like a gang beatdown right there.
It's a gang
Brutal,
beatdown. And then
brutal of
after
that
they've
man.
done it, they stand around having barbershop
Talk.
talk about it, right? And pretty much that's what it was. Like you're in the barbershop, you're talking about we got in it, we got it in. Like you see how strong he was, mocking it. He
Yeah.
wasn't even fighting back. It was the most senseless thing. And they
The
stand
man
over him
cannot
asking
fight
him
back.
questions like, what kind of drugs you on, man? He wasn't on no drugs. You know what that is? That's
No.
adrenaline because he knew he was about to potentially die and be
That's
brutalized by
exactly
you
what it
guys.
is.
So that's
That's
all that
exactly
is.
what it is. And that's what everyone has that, impact and that adrenaline at that point in time because you never know what's going to happen and why black folks are so afraid of police in general. You
Please.
take a simple traffic stop. You want to say that he was, speeding or driving reckless. You don't know. Every single time
Hmm.
black person sees an officer, our adrenaline pipes up. Our antennas go up because we are so uncomfortable because it doesn't matter the color of
Hmm.
the skin of the officers because
It
this
doesn't.
will be the outcome. bruh, this is
This is
so
the outcome.
ridiculous.
This is the outcome, and it's sad. It is beyond sad. And, so all the people out there that always want to pinpoint, oh, it's a white on black brutality, right, from police officers. This should open your eyes. The police
Open it.
department and the system right now, it is corrupt for black people when it comes to police stopping people. They
Policing.
feel like they have a badge to do anything. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. They feel like they have that badge. And this was the perfect example. So for all the people out there who have that same passion about, the George Floyd, make sure you have that same passion with this, because it is
Facts.
senseless violence. Take the black and white out of it. It doesn't even matter. For this
It
guy
don't.
to die, to be brutally just punted in his head like they're kicking a field
A
goal.
field goal.
I mean, around 3 or 4 times. And for all the paramedics who came there and didn't do a damn thing, for all the
They
other
deserve
people that came and stood around and didn't do nothing, they all deserve to be fired, if not prosecuted, because this
prosecuted.
guy died. I mean, it is unbelievable.
Senselessly. Senselessly,
Senseless.
he died. He had no,
Senseless.
there was no reason why this man, if whatever this traffic stop was, it should have just ended like that. There's no reason that this man is now have to be buried. I
He
mean,
had to be
what we
buried.
say,
Mother
it's
burying
not
a
black,
son.
it's not black, it's white, it's blue. And that color of blue, or what these police officers are thinking, is just there's something wrong with that system, and they have to do something about it. But you can't
You
sit
have
up
to.
here and expect us to be okay with what's happening, because we're
Yeah.
not safe. We're
You're
not
not
safe
safe.
anywhere. And this is
You're not
it's,
safe.
it's like I said, it breaks my heart, because I mean, at
It
any
breaks.
point in
Yeah,
time,
it's rough.
we can be that. We can be a Nichols.
It could be you, it could be me, it could be a parent's son, a parent's daughter, it could be anything. Like, there's videos out there that's happening all over. It's been happening for years. The only difference now that everybody
We
has
have video.
cameras. That's
Everyone
right.
has a camera
It can
now.
be
Yep.
caught on camera. So, we sit around and people sometimes watch these videos and they're so shocked and surprised. How could you possibly be? It's been going on for
Nope.
years. People have been
There's the
dying for
difference.
years,
The
right? The
difference is
only
we have
difference
the
is
footage.
exactly
We
we
have the
have the
footage to
footage.
actually show it. They're saying, hey, we've been telling you that this has been happening to African American men and women for years, but without this actual footage, you didn't know it. You didn't think about it, or it wasn't something that you had to visually see. Now that you
Hmm.
see the footage and see how we're being treated, now the world is in an uproar. And as it should have been, but it should have been done years ago. We
Should
shouldn't
have.
have been at this area that we are right now. This is senseless violence.
Senseless
Senseless.
violence. Senseless violence. And I give I give the police chief of Memphis credit. I don't think she really had a choice, that she fired them and they pressed charges immediately. I don't think they had a choice. It was so
No.
brutal that they had to. So I applaud them on that. But I understand that it was so brutal, they didn't have a choice, because they probably would have
Right.
burnt that damn city down if they
They
did
did.
not.
They're
So I
absolutely right.
applaud her
So I
for that.
think,
I applaud all of them for that.
yeah, they did the
Exactly.
she did the right thing with that, because if you didn't do something swift, the reactions and the protests could have turned out to be a lot worse for that city. And I'm glad that something was done immediately. There's going to be comments all over the internet about, well, if it was a white cop, they would have waited and stuff like that. It doesn't matter about the
Doesn't
color.
matter.
We're
Doesn't
actually
matter.
seeing that something was done immediately, and that's what matters. You bring
That's what
these guys
matters.
up on charges, and that's what matters, and you prosecute them fully. What we saw, what they did to that man, there's no excuse for it. And there's just really, you don't want to preach hate, but what they did was hateful and
It
spiteful.
was hateful.
And it's just, it's true, for the things that, you see out in the world, you don't expect it can
Hmm.
happen. When you watch that video, you could put yourself in your shoes and just say, that
Yep.
could be me. And how can you have that much anger and hate towards somebody to treat them that way?
And how
Just
can you? I mean, he's like a pinata, right? He was a punching bag of pinata. It was literally the worst thing I've ever seen, and probably people have ever seen. I tell people not to watch it because of the shock of it, because it was so shocking to see that. And that could, like I said, a mother lost her child, a father lost a son, and etc. It's just, you're not getting that back. You're not getting that life back. So when we go out there, if you're going to march for something, you march for it. And then, we stand fast and hold them accountable for every single thing that they do, because it's just unacceptable in many levels. And, I hope we never see videos like this again, but
we
my
hope,
gut tells
but
me we will, because it hasn't
unfortunately,
changed. It
it
hasn't
has not
changed.
changed.
We're
It's
still
it's
going through
unfortunate,
it.
but like you said, we will see videos like this again. But it doesn't make it any easier to digest. The
Fact.
next video that we're going to see, it's not going to be any easier to digest. But it just should not happen. It
Should
should
not
not
be the
happen.
norm. This should not
Everyone
be the
should
norm.
be held accountable for this. And that young man, like you said, that he had a 3-year-old, 4-year-old son, grows up
Mm,
without a father now, all over a
mm.
traffic stop, right?
Over a traffic stop. And all 11 of those people, those cops, I counted, I think 11 or 12, all
Yeah.
of them, you are accountable, right?
You
All
are
your
accountable
names should be
because
posted.
they had the opportunity to stop it
Hmm.
and do something before it escalated. But I mean, by the time
But
some of them got there, it was already too far. But
it didn't
everyone there
matter. They could have
should be
saved
held
his
accountable
life.
for it. Yeah, they
Correct.
could have done an
Even if you
extra few
pulled up
minutes,
after, you could have done something to make a difference. And
make a
none of you
difference.
did anything to make a difference. Y'all sat there and walked around in the background, talked and chatted and all that nonsense about making up lies as you stand by and protecting that blue line. That's all y'all did. Y'all didn't
Protecting the
give a
blue
damn
line.
about this guy's life falling over there dying. And it's just a sad story all around. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't have anything else on this, but besides to say it's heartbreaking. And I pray
Yep.
for that guy's family, the father, everybody, his entire family, all those involved, all the children who got to see it, and everyone out there. It's just terrible.
Terrible. Yeah. I mean, like I said, we can leave it at that. I got nothing more to say. But I got to say this. Hey, we just have to be safe out there, right?
Facts.
Mike's Unleashed, we're just going to try and tell you, how we feel. We always say, turn our mics up, support us and everything like that. But hey, honestly, we just have to say, be safe out there, everyone. That's just
Facts.
how it is right now, unfortunately. Thank y'all for tuning in for our next episode. We appreciate the support. Stay tuned. Come back for more. Mike's
Peace
Unleashed.
out.
Turn our mics up, and we out.
Peace.
D Mega here, one half of Mike's Unleashed. We want to thank you for giving us your support, watching our videos. But before you leave, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to turn on those notifications. More videos are coming. We appreciate the support. Turn our mics up. Mike's Unleashed.